Deuteronomy 29, verses 18 to 20, especially verse 20, is used to try to push the idea of conditional security for the believer. It does not teach that. In verse 18, it says, "Lest there should be among you a man or a woman, a family, tribe, whose heart turns away this day from the Lord our God, to go and serve the gods of these nations. Lest there should be among you a root that bears gall and wormwood." Question, did Solomon do this? King Solomon, the same one who wrote Proverbs, many of the Proverbs in the book of Proverbs, some of the Psalms, the book of Ecclesiastes. He built the temple for God. He was blessed by God with wisdom. He did all these great things. But then his heart was pulled away because he disobeyed God and took all these wives from foreign nations. You read 1 Kings 11, verses 1 to 13. Solomon ended off his story by building pagan shrines to these different gods and then burning incense on them. A man of God that great fell so far. Do you think Solomon's in hell? He's not. He's not. In 1 Kings 11, it even says the Lord his God. God was still his God. But Solomon's heart had been turned away by his wives. And Solomon, I promise you, he's still in heaven. He went there, he's there. You're going to see him when you get there. He did not lose his salvation. But it goes on to say, and it shall come to pass when they hear the words of this curse, and bless themselves in their hearts, saying, I shall have peace, though I walk in the imagination of my heart. To add drunkenness to thirst, the Lord will not spare him, but the anger of the Lord and his jealousy shall smoke against that man. And all the curses that are written in this book shall lie upon him, and the Lord shall blot out his name from under heaven. And people say, there you go. They're blotted out from under heaven. They're not saved. That's not what it says. Are you blotted out from the book of life or blotted out from under heaven? Every person, believer and unbeliever alike, is under heaven. What he's saying is that God will exercise maximum divine discipline and end people's lives early if they start doing these things. He'll bring all the curses in the law upon them, and then, if need be, he will end their lives early. He's not letting them contaminate his nation that far. But there's a difference. They're not blotted out from the book of life. It does not say that in verse 20. They are blotted out from under heaven. There's a difference. There's a big difference, because even unbelievers are under heaven, and they're not in the book of life because they're unbelievers. So rightly divide the words. Study this out. Pay attention to the words. Words are very important, as well as to context. The 3 rules of real estate are location, location, location. The 3 rules of Bible study are context, context, context. Take it in context of the surrounding passages, not just one random verse, and look at this carefully. What is it actually saying? I hope this helps clear it up. Deuteronomy 29 verse 20 does not teach conditional security, but rather that maximum divine discipline will come on people who rebel against God and pursue other foreign gods.